Hello everyone, I welcome you all. Today in this video, we will see few general details regarding the anchor rod. We will see what is projection, embedment and grades of the anchor rod. Anchor rod is a important element in the steel construction. Connect the structural steel to the foundation. Generally the anchor rods we are detailing, those anchor rods are cast in place. Cast in place means these anchor rods are placed in a concrete formwork before the concrete is poured and get permanently embedded as the concrete cures. Three types of anchor rods we are generally doing detailing. First one is threaded rod, which I am showing on the screen. Second one is a headed rod, and third one is a hook rod. So in this video, we will see for the threaded rod parameters related to the threaded rod. Bottom end of the anchor rod, as shown here, which is embedded into the concrete, and top portion, which is threaded, which is used by the space of grout base plate and for the tightening of the above nut. In figure, we have the heavy hex nut, uh, a first thread we are following, which is above and below the base plate. Then bottom side, at the bottom of the anchor rod, we have also the heavy hex nut. Then the washers we are providing, those are standard washers having the grade of F436. The grout which is provided in the design drawing, that is non-shrink. We will see the importance of these three nut. The bottom side we are providing the nut, which is in this condition tack welded, or second one is a preen thread. Preen thread means threads are damaged to prevent the rotation of this nut. At the bottom end of the anchor rod, these nuts are provided to enhance the pull out resistance, and uh, we are tack welding which will provide prevent the turning of the anchor rod, prevent the uh, turning of the anchor rod while tightening the top nut after the erection of the column. The nut which we are showing in the grout below the base plate and this washer, this will help for the leveling of the base plate. Then one more nut which is above the base plate, which is for the final tightening of the after the erection of the column. The length of anchor rod which is projecting outside of the footing, just I'm showing here like a projection, which is called as a projection, and the length of the anchor rod which is inside the footing, which is called as a embedment. I'm showing an embedment which we generally consider is embedment value up to the top of the nut. And for fixing this below the nut, we are keeping some half-inch threads, and for fixing the bottom thread length, we are keeping the half-inch extra threads. So bottom thread lengths we are fixing. For fixing bottom thread length, we are using the these minimum dimensions. For calculating the projection, generally above the base plate, we are keeping the anchor rod extension as the twice D. Twice D means the diameter of the anchor bolt. So this is generally the minimum we are keeping the twice the diameter of the anchor bolt. In few conditions, the length of the anchor rod not come proper, just like 2 feet 3 by 16, or maybe 1 feet 6 9 by 16. So what can we do? We can in projection we can just round up the anchor rod length for in coming half-inch. So we will get the proper length. While detailing the anchor rod, We must take care for one point. Uh, we should check the depth of the footing, how much depth we have, and we need to maintain the bottom end of the thread rod at least 3 inch clear from the bottom of footing or the pier. And one more thing, the top end of the anchor rod should not be extend above the finish floor elevation. The top end of the anchor rod, it should be at least 1 inch below the anchor rod. Oh, sorry, 1 inch below the finish floor from finish floor. In the first condition, we are showing the standard washer of F436 because in the base plate we are following the holes. Just I wrote some example like for 3 by 4 dia, if you are following the whole dia of 1 by 16, or for 2 inch dia anchor bolt, we are following the whole dia to 1/2. So in these conditions, we need to follow these standard washers only. Here in second figure, I am showing the thread rod example using the plate washers. The remaining things are all same. Amendment, projection, which is same. Just instead of this using the F436 washer, we are following the A36 plate washers because here in the base plate we are following the plate following the O size holes as per the 14-2 table. And one more thing on the and sometimes in design drawing with heavy X nut they are showing one more washer on the embedded end. So this example, just example I am covering in second second figure. For calculating the bottom thread length, we can keep half inch rod length below the nut, and we can keep this half inch above the plate washer. And so based on this half-inch dimension, we can fix the minimum bottom side thread length. Top side thread length, which generally we are keeping the same as a projection. Uh, we are extending this anchor rod twice dia above the base plate, and to round up the we are providing the anchor rod length like in we are rounding up in quarters or a half inch, like just like 1 feet 6 1/2, 2 feet 3 1/2, like that in most of the cases. So in the projection we can add up quarter inch or half inch dimension, so we will get the round up length of the anchor rod. In second figure, this extra plate washer I'm showing here. This is just same as the for enhancing the pull out resistance. Whenever we are providing the plate washers in the anchor rod, the whole diameter it should be standard round. Suppose the diameter of the anchor rod is 3 by 4, so this plate washer should have the whole diameter of 13 by 16 only. We need to tack weld this nut and this washer with the anchor rod, and this tack weld we are showing in the detail sheets. When we are using the plate washers in base plate above and below the base plate, then for example for 3 by 4 dia we are following the 1 5/16 dia hole. For 2 inch dia we are following 3/4. These are actually the oversized holes which we are following as per the table 14-2. And grades for the anchor rod, these are the preferred grades for the anchor rod: F1554 grade 36, grade 55, and grade 105. So guys, in the summary of this video, four things are which are more important. First is embedment, another is projection, third one is we need to maintain this bottom end of anchor rod minimum 3 inch clear from the bottom of footing or pier, and last one is top end of the anchor rod which we generally keep it should not extend above the finished floor elevation. It should be minimum 1 inch below the from the finished floor elevation. The total length of the anchor rod, which I'm showing in the figure, which will get like this from the top end to bottom end. This will all cover the projection plus embedment, and below the nut we are following keeping some threads, the length extension of anchor rod. This total will sum up to the length of the anchor rod. So guys, this video is for general overview to the parameters related to anchor rod. Always follow fabricator guidelines and structural design drawing for the detailed instruction. So put your thoughts in comment section.